Hey, what's up, everybody? What's crack-a-lackin'? Thank you all for joining me for another episode of The Geek Master, which is a podcast that is for nerds who love all things geek more than, I don't know, Ninja Turtles love pizza. As usual, I'm your hardly sober host, Cassius Samuels, and today I just wanted to give you some quick random thoughts on the whole Rebirth event that's supposed to be coming from DC Comics here soon. So for those of you who may worry about me rambling off onto some random irrelevant tangent for 30 minutes or more, have no fear. Today I'm going to sum it up for you fairly quickly, I hope. But yeah, just jumping right in. Over time, as far as reboots go, like what DC is trying to do with their comic continuity, trying to get some more cohesion and everything, over time I've become more accepting of reboots. You know, I used to be one of these people that was like, no, fuck that, come up with an original idea. I hate reboots. I hate when you guys revamping. Just come up with something new, come up with something original. Stop trying to bite off all the classics. But nowadays, I'm more accepting of a proper reboot because it's kind of an easy way to refresh your universe, whether it's comics, movies, TV shows, etc. It's a great way to keep the old stories alive and bring them into the modern era. So I've kind of, dropped my guard and been a little bit more tolerable of the reboot phenomenon these days. On one hand, I'm excited, but when it comes to DC, who is the major rebooter, it has me kind of cautious about being very invested in these promises that DC just keeps throwing out. I mean, it wasn't too long ago they were selling Convergence as the savior of the DCU. Then it was Ditto's DCU initiative that fell flat on its face, with Jim Gordon as Batman, the depowered Superman truth arc. This is when they were doing the whole creativity over continuity thing that drove a lot of DC fans bonkers. And I mean, hell, some of the best titles to come out of the DCU were from characters like Cyborg and Martian Manhunter, not even from the Trinity. I mean, Wonder Woman's comic was kind of and like I just said, Batman with Jim Gordon and depowered Superman, while they started off as very great ideas, I think they were executed poorly and they didn't come across nearly as dope as Ditto and everybody was trying to make it sound like. As far as the whole Rebirth thing goes, I'm down with the whole initiative that DC is trying to take so they can make their shared universe more cohesive. Hopefully this leads to the embargo being lifted, and who knows, maybe before we all die we'll actually get to see a Crisis on Infinite Earth scenario play out. I mean, I wouldn't hold your breath because we are talking about DC and Warner Brothers and them getting their heads out of their ass relatively quickly, which has been shown over time to not be the case, but it's still nice to hope. I have these feelings initially because if you look at, DC's recent initiatives, they haven't really fared that well. Starting with the New 52, since that's the most prominent initiative that they've tried over the last 5-6 years or so, something like that. To me, it's been kind of a disappointment, to be honest. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot I love about the New 52, but when you sit down and get analytical about it, you start going over it with a fine-tooth comb, there's a lot to find wrong with it as well. I mean, it's pretty bad when I know lifelong Batman fans who basically are just repulsed by the New 52 Batman. And I'm a lifetime Superman fanatic, and I really don't like a whole lot of the New 52 Superman stuff. So I mean, it's a case-by-case basis, but for me, on my own anecdotal experience, it feels like that myself and those nerds closest to me feel the New 52 is a disappointment. I mean, I probably would feel different if DC had more success with their reboots over time. But like I said, like the DCU initiative that Dan Ditto did over the summer with the whole Convergence thing was a failure. And the thing that gets me with all these reboots, to be real, is that nothing ever really gets rebooted. It just gets recycled. No matter how many times they reboot this universe, it basically stays the same story. It just gets modernized and mixed up kind of. For me, in my eyes, a true reboot would be something that totally changes the status quo of the universe. And I mean in noticeable, drastic ways. That's a reboot to me. But obviously, it's a subjective interpretation, so it's open for discussion. It's open for, there's no right or wrong answer, so I'll leave it up to you to decide how it's best sorted out in your eyes. But for me, that's just the way I look at it. Feel me? But before anybody tries to say anything retarded in the comment section, I just want to clarify real quick. I know that the DC Rebirth event is not a reboot. It's a relaunch, a bunch of new number ones. It's going to keep some of the other, it's going to renumber some of the other issues, but it's not a reboot. I completely understand that. I'm just trying to put everything in the context of how DC has been running its company as far as its comics go over the last few years. So yeah, DC's track record with me right now is just like kind of I mean, that's why I don't want to get sucked into another promotional stunt because of another set of new number one issues that have no way, shape, or form proven themselves yet. I mean, I'm optimistic, but I also have timorous expectations at the same time. With that being said though, in Jeff Johns, I trust. Tom King just got signed to DC Comics, Snyder's off Batman, and Johns is going to be very vociferous about using Rebirth to restore order to the DCU. So I have faith. You know, I try not to get too worked up over what could happen, what might happen, what might not happen, whatever. I just going to put my faith in Jeff Johns, who has a lot of power over at DC, and he's trying to get this shit whipped into shape, and I just have faith in him. And there you have it. Those are my random thoughts and feelings off the top of the head about DC's Rebirth initiative that's going to be coming to us soon. I'm curious as to what you guys think though. I don't know how many of you guys who subscribe to this channel or pay attention to follow what I do on this channel are fans of DC Comics, but I'd love to hear what you guys who are fans think about the whole DC Rebirth thing. So please leave a comment of your thoughts down below so we can exchange some dialogue. Don't forget to drop a like on the video if you found any entertainment value in this podcast whatsoever, and please subscribe to the channel. You can also look me up on Facebook at the Geek Master if you want to stay up to date with all the original content I try to provide free of charge. Yes, that's right. I do this completely for free like an idiot, but that's neither here nor there. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you guys next time. Love all you nerd gods and geek goddesses. I'll see you next time. I think I said that already, but it's all good. Still love you, you beautiful rays of sunshine. Peace.